Yah says that events that you cannot afford will come upon you. Natural disasters that will deplete the money you had set aside for other things, but also a slow decline. The money will become worthless. You will buy less day by day with the same money until you are groaning under the weight of an economic situation that cannot sustain you. The American economy will not sustain the weight of the amount of people resting on it, drawing from it, needing it, depending on it. Welfare, the stimulus checks, the stipends, the Social Security, the assistance programs, 401k savings, federal aid. Yah says all of this is already overburdened, and as people keep depending on it, as people will keep falling on harder and harder times, losing jobs, can't keep work, can't find work, can't get paid enough despite how many hours they do work, the system will eventually give way, and many people will topple to poverty and hardships at the same time. America will become poorer than it was, with not many options to revive itself as expected. And so once again, the Lord brings in different angles into the various prophecies as he pleases. And now he's talking about two angles. One of them is natural disasters, and the other angle is economic decline. Both of these things have been prophesied from the absolute beginning of the blog. That is from 2019 when I started writing them down. But some of the prophecies go all the way back. Prophecies of America being a welfare nation. And when I say welfare, I'm not just talking about the fact that in these prophecies, Yah has said that more and more people who have never needed or used welfare in their lives are going to use it. And that prophecy already came to pass in 2020. The amount of people who were forced to apply for welfare, the amount of people who were forced to apply not only for the stimulus checks, because I think only 2 sad ones of those were made to those of you who took them. The idea of taking anything that this government gives you is a question in itself, but let's continue. A lot of people had no work. A lot of people had no work during COVID, and a lot of people found that their work had simply become redundant. Their livelihood had simply fallen away after COVID, and so a lot of people were desperate. They couldn't pay their rent because they hadn't worked in a very long time due to the lockdowns that extended here in this country far longer than in any other country. We were locked up for 4 or 5 months. Other people just for a couple of weeks. Other people maybe for a solid month. America kept us in the house for a very long time because, of course, they were busy with many things that we couldn't be seeing by being outside. And a lot of people were forced to rely on the government structure. And I've been talking about those things in 2019. And God says that the government structure will become very weak because more and more people are not able to eke a living out of the economy. The U.S. economy, despite all the lies to the contrary, is not a healthy one. It is multiple hundreds of trillions of dollars in debt. American debt is inconceivable to the normal mind. And it obviously wasn't run up by the people. American debt is run up, for instance, by this ongoing scam that the government runs. Oh, there's trauma, and we're going to shut down until we can sign this bill, this fiscal bill. If we don't sign it by the next weekend, the government will shut down. In what world, foreign people listening here, in what world have you ever heard a government saying that it's going to shut down like a car engine that hasn't been fixed in a long time? Like a gas tank that's empty? Have you ever heard of a thing called a government shutdown? How is it that America is a country whose government shuts down unless you feed it money, unless they come up with a bill that says, and this amount of spending has to be released, and then all of a sudden they don't shut down? They constantly threaten this shutdown, and then they give themselves millions of dollars, and then they're not going to shut down. Since we're such an advanced first world country, how do you think India's running without shutdowns? I'll even make it easier. How do you think Haiti manages to do it without threatening a government shutdown if they don't get money? It definitely wasn't buying diapers and even buying Sony PlayStations that put this country into trillions, multiple hundreds of trillions of dollars of debt. It's the princes of Babylon, how they operate, how they suck out the intestines of the nation financially and leave it hollow, and then tell the people there's an American dream active out there. Look at Elon Musk. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. They did it. You can do it too.